Lakers 12-point favorites to finish it out in LA. This game close late in the first quarter. Bulls hold a 1-game advantage at the end, 1-point advantage at the end of the first frame, powered by 15 points from Sergio Tavares. For the Lakers, it is 13 for Chinese and 11 for Zanelli. Unfortunately, foul trouble not setting in for the Lakers. That's how the Bulls have won most of their games in this series. Greg Parker Jr. returning from injury with 11 points. Of course, the Bulls yet to win in LA during this series. Bulls hold a 1-point lead at halftime. For Chicago, 17 for Tavares, 11 for Greg Parker Jr., 10 for Brent Bodine. For the Lakers, 22 each for Wodu Zanelli and Algie Chinese. Bodine actually in foul trouble with 3 personals, although I guess 3 personals at the end of the third is not really that big of a deal. But this game is still extremely close. Lakers lead by 5 at the end of the third quarter. For the Lakers, 35 for Chinese, 33 for Zanelli, 10 for Jones. For the Bulls, 22 and 11 assists for Tavares, 16 for Parker, 17 for Bodine, 13 for Adams, 10 each for Mack and Nejara. These teams trading blows here in the fourth quarter. And Jared Mack's 3 with 6:05 remaining gives the Bulls a 114-113 lead in Game 7 of the ABF Finals. Lakers take a timeout, return Algie Chinese, Leon Gillette, and AJ Yamamoto to the game. Keegan Crossland 3, no good. Mack the rebound. Mack at the rim, layup is good. Chinese 3 to answer is bricked. Mack the rebound. Bodine now at the rim, no good for Brent Bodine. Offensive rebound for Jared Mack for Sergio Tavares 3, which will go. Chicago up now by 6. Chinese 3 is good, cuts the lead down to 3. Tavares turns it over. Chinese at the rim now. Opportunity for an and 1 to tie the game. That foul is on Bodine, his 4th personal. Ties it up, does Algie Chinese. Brent Bodine at the rim, no good. Zanelli clears, but turns it over in transition. Bodine 3 is good. Bulls now by 3, 3:46 to go. Kim Jones 3 to answer is no good. Mack clears, but Gillette steals from Dillian Gibbs. Zanelli mid-range, no good. Tavares 3 puts the Bulls back up 6. Zanelli 3-pointer, bricked. Nejara clears. Greg Parker 3, no good. Offensive rebound for Tavares for a Nejara 3, again no good. Chinese finally clears. Lakers trail by 6, 2:20 to go. Kim Jones mid-range is good. Greg Parker Jr. attempts a low post shot, no good for Chicago. Gillette clears. Chinese 3 to cut the lead down to 1, bricked. His own miss. For Zanelli 3, which will go. 1:45 to go. The Lakers trail by 1. Greg Parker Jr., a low post shot blocked by Chinese. Zanelli the loose ball. Attempts a pull-up 3, no good. Chinese the miss. Zanelli mid-range shot, blocked by Nejara. who was able to grab the loose ball, but turns it over, trying to dribble it up the court. But Gillette turns it right back over. 47 seconds to go. Bodine at the rim. Opportunity for an and one for Brent Bodine with 29 seconds to go. Converts the free throw, and the Bulls have a 4-point lead. 29 seconds in the game. For Chicago, 28 and 15 assists for Sergio Tavares, 26 for Brent Bodine, 19 for Greg Parker Jr., 17 for Jared Mack, 13 for Kirby Adams, and 12 for Mohamed Nejara. For the Lakers, 46, 11, and 7 blocks for Algie Chineze, 36 and 10 assists for Wudu Zanelli, 15 for Kim Jones, and 11 for Keegan Crossland. Kim Jones at the rim, 22 seconds to go, dunks on Bodine. And the Lakers will play the foul game here. Kirby Adams at the line for 2, makes the first and the second. Zanelli 3 with 14 seconds left is good. Kim Jones will foul Brent Bodine, who has struggled from the line in this one, only 5 for 7. Makes the first and the second. Lakers can tie with a 3 or go for a quick 2. With 1 second left on the clock, the Algie Chineze 3 is no good. Bodine clears, and the Lakers need to foul to get the ball back. Lakers need a miracle here. Parker Jr. makes the first free throw and the second. Chineze 3 as time expires is no good, but it was too little too late anyway, and the Chicago Bulls are your 2072 ABF champions. Came back from down 2-0 in the series without Greg Parker Jr. Win Game 7 on the road for their first road win of the series. Score 45 points for a comeback fourth quarter victory. Jdot has been waiting a long time for sure. No longer one of the best ABF GNs without a ring. 134 to 129, the final score. For Chicago, 28 and 15 assists for Sergio Tavares, 28 points for Brent Bodine, 21 for Greg Parker Jr., 17 for Jared Mack, 15 for Kirby Adams, and 12 for Mohamed Nejara. For the Lakers, 46, 11, and 7. An amazing effort for Algie Chineze. Not quite good enough to win the game. 39 and 10 assists for Wudu Zanelli. 17 for Kim Jones. 11 for Keegan Crossland. Leon Gillette fouls out late in the game on an intentional foul. The Chicago Bulls, for the first time ever, are ABF champions. Brent Bodine, the finals MVP. Huge showing from him in these playoffs. Performing amazingly in the finals. A huge 50-point game in an elimination game in the Eastern Conference Finals. And what an effort for him. We have some important retirements. Mel Richardson